Hello bass lovers, welcome to this new video. Today I want to talk to you about my main bass, which is a Fender American Elite Jazz bass. This series is actually the one before the new series, which is the American Ultra. And today I want to talk to you about why I really love this bass. It has a certain unique feature that Fender puts on it and makes myself feel like home. The new series has changed some of these features and I'm really don't know why actually, because I think this bass has got some pretty cool features. I'm in love with this bass. As you can see in all my videos, this is my main bass and I really like it because, it follows my ideas, the sound that I have in mind. It helps me to have a certain type of character and flow on the instruments, and this is very important for me. So I use a particular gauge of strings, and this is actually a very light string set. They are Elixir Ultra Light strings, and it goes from 40 to 95 gauge. I really like the feel of these strings because they are basically, you can give this kind of they sings, but they can also groove. And for slapping they have this kind of ridiculously low action. And they are also great for tapping as well. Unbelievable. So let's get into the features. This bass actually have some pretty cool innovations for a Fender jazz bass. Fender is usually known for their canon in follow the traditions, but I think that this bass is a perfect example of how Fender have listened to the requests of some kind of people, especially the type of people that want some improvement on the feel and playability of the bass guitars, but also for guitars, because this series put I think actually Fender start to make some kind of innovation in their instrument from the latest Deluxe series, but with the Elite we have this kind of another level features, and they are so cool. Let's start from the back of the instrument. Can you see this axis? This is the back of the instrument. This is the joint where we have the screws, because this is a bolt-on bass. So see this kind of shape. Usually in the traditional jazz bass, this kind of joint was squared, and the problem with that shape was that that shape is not so ergonomical, and this you notice if you want to reach these higher notes, and you basically your thumb gets stuck because you don't have this cut here, and it goes There are ways of playing it. You can use your thumb and play whatever you want, but this is very cool because you can reach the high E without any problem at all. It's pretty comfortable. Let's move on. The bridge is also basically a very nice bridge, because you have the possibility of going both with the strings through body, so the strings pass on the back of the instruments and go right through the body, or in the classic way, the strings are anchored in the back of the bridge and go straight to the neck. So I really like to have this option. I don't know why in the new Ultra series they removed this feature, but I really like to have it on my bass, honestly. I also like to have it this axis on the truss rod on the bottom of the neck. I think this was introduced by Music Man actually, which was also created by Leo Fender. That guy was an absolutely genius, and I have to tell you, this is unbelievably cool, because having the chance to access the truss rod without taking off any pick guards or plates on the headstock I think it's all about conveniency and design. And honestly, I don't know why in the new Ultra series they've removed this as well. This was so modern, so intelligent to have. But anyway, I'm a little bit of apart because I'm really love. This is my main bass, so I I really love everything of it. So the headstock, they are so precise. They will never let you in a difficult situation. They are relatable. They are basically built like a tank, and they are great. The nut was a bone nut, pretty common in the high-end instruments, and it's classic. It gets the job done and it sounds pretty awesome. I love the kind of attack that gives to the overall instrument, the sustain more than the attack. And I really like this bone nut. I've tried different, not on this bass but in my other basses, other types of nuts. But I think I am a kind of a bone nut guy. I don't know, it's my personal preference. Maybe that's because that's what I'm used to play. Let's talk about the fingerboard. The fingerboard is made of ebony, and oh gosh, I love ebony. Ebony is like, for me, is like home. It's like what I want from a bass when we're talking about fingerboard, because I don't know, I really love the kind of the voice of ebony is this kind of deep but still clear sound. It's unbelievable for me. I really love ebony, so I choose ebony when I purchased this bass. And I also loved so much that this fretboard have, like the new Ultra series, they've launched this feature with the Elite series, this compound fretboard. What is a compound fretboard? Well, basically is a fretboard that goes from a more rounded radius, which is more classic feeling, more vintage, as not probably vintage, but more classic, let's say like this. From a more rounded radius to a more flattened radius. This allows you to feel the bass in a more solid hold if you are accompanying or go into this kind of low access frets. And while you are moving on the upper part of the fretboard, the frets are going to have a more flattened shape. And this is so fast. It definitely followed your hand movement needs, because it's so natural. It's amazing. And now it's amazing. It feels like home for me, and I really like how the progression of this radius is following the natural position of the hand. And they also have this compound construction on the neck. And on the new series, they are basically just a modern D shape, I think, which is thinner and it's absolutely comfortable. I'm sure about that. But this is also compounded. So you have this kind of upper part of the neck, which is a C neck, and they go through a modern D shape in the neck. And I really love to have this both fingerboard and neck with this kind of compound construction, because my hands feels just like home. I really love it. Another thing to mention is that this bass is very well balanced. I mean, I can put it like here and it holds. I can put it like here and it holds. I can put it like here and it holds. No neck dive at all. And this is great because I don't have to stress my hand to maintain the position and force my fingers to hold the heaviness of the bass. I really like how this bass feels, but I think this is kind of pretty common in all of modern jazz bass right now, and it's great to have a very balanced instrument. As you can see, I have some aesthetic modifications, basically, because the pickups are the original one, which are the noiseless 3. I just wanted simply to cover it with a black plastic cover, because I've noticed that when I was touching the pole in the recording session, they give me some buzz when the finger was touching the pole. So if you're doing stuff like, you know, like this, I'm constantly touching the pole, and you don't want to have this in the recording, trust me. So I just put these black plastic covers, and it works. I really love it aesthetically, actually. I think they're so sleek, so modern, so sexy. So I've also changed the pick guard, because the original one was a red tortoise pick guard, and I really love the abalone kind of vibes. This is actually the abalone pick guard, and not real abalone, it's just a plastic with this kind of abalone-ish texture in it. And I love how it reflects with the light. I really love it, and I think it's matched pretty well with the color, which is the last thing I want to talk about, because the rest is more important. Playability and the feel, the sound is so important, but I'm in love with this color. Look at it. This is Ocean Turquoise. I'll write it here because I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Turchese Oceano. Probably will say like this in Italian, but it's Ocean Turquoise. So a turquoise mixed with ocean vibes. It's so Mediterranean, so beautifully painted. I'm in love with this. I want all my objects in this color, please. I really love this one. So I hope you like this kind of different video, and I just want to share with you why I'm still in love with this bass after all this time. It's great. Trust me, if you find some used jazz bass American Elite in the used market, take it, because they are really built like a tank instrument. They are so versatile, and they have the job done. There are cheaper instruments with similar characteristics for sure. Like I love Syre basses, they are amazing. I've got one actually. I think it's here. Yeah. This is the Syre bass, and I really love it. And they are cheaper. But if you want a Fender bass with this unique characteristic, like the string through body with this kind of classical bridge, and this type of active electronic, which by the way I don't use it because I've removed the batteries and I use it in passive, and it sounds amazing. This is the cool thing about this bass. It sounds amazing both in passive and active mode. And if you want this kind of access on the thrash road like Music Man, Sur, and these kind of modern brands of guitars, it's great. If you want to have this, trust me, once you've tried it, it's so hard to come back to other necks because it's so comfortable. This compound thing is a real thing. I think it's a real thing, because it's so smooth, and definitely it will improve your playing if you like this kind of necks. And yeah, that's it. I highly recommend this bassist, and that's all for now. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this new format, and please let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it, if you have any question about Fender American Elite Jazz Bass in general, music, anything you want. Please, if you enjoyed this content, consider to like and subscribe to this channel. I really hope you have a wonderful time. See you in the next video.